Roll call. Ms. Gerhart? Here. Ms. Kanyuk? Ms. Coop?
Here.
Ms. Pascarelli? Here. Ms. Thomas?
Here. And can we all stand for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So adequate notice of this meeting was given in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act by forwarding a schedule of regular meetings of the Warren County Library Commission to the Warren County Clerk, the Star Ledger, and the Daily Record, and by posting a copy thereof on the bulletin board in the office of the Board of County Commissioners and the office of the Warren County Clerk. Formal action may be taken by the Warren County Library Commissioners at this meeting. Public participation is encouraged. In order to assure full public participation, those individuals with disabilities who wish to attend the meeting should submit any requests for special accommodations 1 week in advance. And I would like to just interrupt the order of business to introduce our new Assistant Director, and it's Matt Rothfuss, right? Okay, and now down to the approval of minutes. Could I have the motion to accept the minutes from June 24th, the regular meeting?
Motion.
Second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Ms. Gerhart?
Yes.
Ms. Coop?
Yes.
Ms. Pascarelli?
Yes.
And Ms. Thomas?
Yes. And then motion to pay the bills in the amount of $287,511.16. Can I have a motion to pay the bills? So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Ms. Gerhart?
Yes.
Ms. Coop?
Yes.
Ms. Pascarelli?
Yes.
And Ms. Thomas?
Yes. And are there any communications at the meeting? Okay, are there any public comments on agenda items only?
What agenda item can you tell us?
The bylaw status?
Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry, well, the bylaw status. Is the microphone on? Just have to. Thank you.
So as I said, I'm going to speak to the bylaw status item. I'd like to ask that as the commission is considering the bylaws and updating them, that they add language to reinstate the precedent that all written correspondence from the public to the commission that's received between meetings be read into the record and acknowledged, or at least summarized in the event that the correspondence is longer than the public comment time would allow. At a previous meeting, I mentioned this and pointed out the importance of when the public is unable to attend a meeting in person to still know that they have the ear of the commission and they're being heard. And the response I got at that meeting was that correspondence only pertained to communications from the commission, not from the public. However, this is not the case based on the past decade of meetings. Today's agenda has an item for communications from the commission, and it's my understanding that that would be what that is for. It, is certainly welcome to be like should be there, but I don't understand how it could replace what correspondence used to be in the past. It's not a replacement for it. Public correspondence needs to be included in the minutes. It's important to note that this being included was not born of the COVID era. This was the case in minutes going back to 2015, which is the earliest year that's available on the website. For example, one of them was simply patron letter of appreciation for Tony Chaplin watercolor class. So Clearly that was from a patron just saying thanks for a program, but it was noted, and that's important. Written on each agenda and at the start of every meeting is the statement that public participation is encouraged. So I hope that you honor that and honor transparency in the Open Public Meetings Act and include correspondence from the public in your revision of the bylaws. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, what agenda item you have a comment on?
The resolution to pay bills.
Thank you.
So my name is Teresa Esposito Jackson. I'm from Washington Township. I'd like to comment on the agenda item, resolution to pay bills. We have seen the lawyer invoices, and it is very concerning to us how our taxpayer money is being misused. Paying this lawyer, who has, since their appointment in January up until the end of June, has cost Warren County taxpayers $15,430.25. It's absolutely crucial public knowledge that that $15,430 is more than double what the previous lawyer cost us when representing the library for an entire 16 months, as opposed to the 6 months that Bell has been representing us. Every time the Library Commission calls, emails, conferences, etc. with the lawyer, you're taking money directly out of the library budget. Knowing this, the Library Commission should only be consulting with the lawyer when absolutely necessary. Instead, those dollars have been spent on irresponsible and frivolous consultations, such as reviewing agenda setting in January 2025 and part of a $2,636.75 bill, review governing means, manner, and procedure for public meeting, part of the $7,919 charge in April, and review meeting recording and creating a transcript for the June meeting and part of the $2,594.75 charge for June. This is embarrassing and shameful. A lawyer should not be needed to advise us on how to run a public meeting, especially since 2 members have been on the commission for over a year. We are approving to pay bills, including paying a lawyer who was appointed despite being less qualified than other bidders. Library law is not listed as one of his practice areas on his website. Less experience, has no previously listed library experience. The previous lawyer, who also put in a bid, represented over 40 public libraries. Having a conflict of interest, his law firm, specifically a family member, represents the county commission, and yet somehow costing us the same as the previous lawyer who was more qualified. This should make us all wonder what the decision-making process was for this appointment and leads us to question the Library Commission motives. The average cost of a typical library program is between $250 to $300. The total amount we've spent on the lawyers over the past few years, $74,088, could have been better spent on providing the public with anywhere between 77 and 92 programs. This lawyer's expenses for the first 6 months alone could have been spent on providing the public with anywhere between 51 and 62 programs. Let that sink in. We've potentially missed out on that many programs for the first half of this year alone. I want to know why the commission is comfortable using the library budget as their own personal piggy bank for their own whims, ineptitude, and potentially personal agendas, despite the harm it's costing the library.
Okay, and then we're down to, we're down to old business. So the update, the status of the library bylaws. Did you want to do that?
Speaking of bylaws, we have a working draft of the revised bylaws, and after this meeting tonight, the bylaws subcommittee will meet to review them together. That's myself, Lisa, and Attorney Bell. And by this evening, we'll have a further draft that should be distributed to the rest of the commission members before the next meeting.
Thank you. And any new business? Okay, no new business. Resolutions, no resolutions. And the library director's report.
Right. I wanted to start off with congratulating our staff for a wonderful summer reading program this year. We distributed over 1,800 reading logs at all of our branches. That's from babies up to adults, 4 different age levels. They recorded over 23,000 days this summer that they read for those individuals. So all of these numbers were a little bit higher than last year, which is great to see. Um, I really want to congratulate the staff because we had 5 unexpected leaves this summer throughout all of our branches. So they really stepped up and did a wonderful job keeping it all together when it's pretty hectic at times. When all the kids come in for a program and then suddenly they want to check out, 50 books each. But the staff did a great job with it. And I want to thank the Friends of the Library and the trustees for CDH. They sponsored all of our summer reading prizes this summer. We did it a little bit differently. We broke it up into 2 prize sessions. So for different activities like the number of days read, the kids, adults got a ticket and they can pick whatever prize they want to put it in. And then we did, I think each branch had 12 prizes per session. So I think we ended up with 96 prizes. And they were a little bit different. They had a fun kind of selecting something a little unusual here and there. So I think next year we're going to follow a very similar format for the prizes. We're not going to do weekly. It's going to be 2 prize sessions. We are just about at 5 months since we switched to Koha for our integrated library system. Feedback from the patrons has been mostly positive. As you would expect, they love having access to all of the items in the other main libraries.
Me too.
Yeah.
I borrowed some.
It's definitely been an adjustment for our staff. There are things we did not anticipate. Other things that Maine is still working on with the company that we're contracted with for Koha. One of the big ones has been our holds slips. Up until just today, staff had to manually edit every single hold slip throughout the system. So today's the first day where they can just print it out, wrap it around the book with a rubber band, and that's it. So fingers crossed, there's actually going to be more improvements to that process in the future. It just takes time. So I kind of look at it as steps. We keep improving. It takes a little bit. It's not just us anymore. There are 54 other libraries in the system that have to be considered as well. The next big project for Maine is going to be the reports module in Koha. They've released to us some of the basic reports, but they know all of us, including our library system, we need some more advanced reports written. So they're going to start working on authoring some of those reports for us. Things that we definitely need for the state report, the annual state report. It's been great. We have seen a 24% increase in our circulation compared to last year. The wait times for many of the items coming in, for the items you have on holds, have been reduced. The number of holds has skyrocketed. Yeah. Again, we have to all adjust a little bit. We're hopeful this week there's going to be an update to Koha, and it's going to change the way holds are filled in the system. And we're hopeful that it's going to make it a little bit more efficient at our end. So maybe we can reduce some of the staff time. Things that in the past we never had to do. So all items we are lending to other Maine libraries or items we borrowed and that are now sending back, we physically are wrapping for the courier service. We take big Ziploc bags and with rubber bands, wrap it all up. It's very time consuming. It's physically demanding for the staff, but we're hopeful this upgrade is going to make a little bit of a difference. We had some good news over the summer. Maine was appropriated a $150,000 grant from the state. And these funds, they had originally asked for 500,000, but we weren't sure if Maine was going to receive anything at all. So we're all very happy with 150,000. And they're going to use that to offset the cost of migrating to Koha. So our costs are going to go down a little bit. So it's good news for us. You may have seen some of the promotions we did this summer with Maine. We now have access to the Wall Street Journal for online access. And this has been a nice addition for us because we can no longer receive the daily delivery of the physical newspaper out here. They ended that for us. So yeah, we're for a while having it mailed, but by the time it came, it's old news. So having the online access has been very nice for our patrons. And Matthew's also working with Maine. We're looking to switch our Maine ebook provider from Cloud Library to Libby. Libby is the service that Maine uses. So we would have access not only to the books we purchase, the ebooks we purchase, but the ebooks purchased by all of the Maine library members. Our contract with Cloud Library ends March of next year. So Matthew's working to hopefully have everything set up before Cloud Library ends so we can transition over to Libby. It's interesting, we have some name recognition from patrons. They ask us specifically for Libby. One of the big features is it's compatible with the Kindle. So we know switching over, the Kindle users will be happy with that. In the past, we had Overdrive, which owns Libby, and I will say we had a not so pleasant experience when they tripled the price on us. And that's when we left to go to Cloud Library. However, the way Libby now Overdrive deals with consortiums has completely changed. So I think we're just gonna have to put that in the past and move forward with a product that we know people are asking for by name. We know people will be able to use with more devices. And because it's Maine's main provider for ebooks, again, our patrons will have greater access to a larger number of ebooks. And that includes the e-audiobooks as well. We're still having people coming into CDH who haven't been there now for probably close to 2 years. They're just kind of discovering that we have reopened. The door counts keep increasing, which is wonderful. Most of the outstanding issues we had with the physical building and IT issues have been resolved at this point. The big ones we're waiting on still, we need a projector in the meeting room, something like this, to be hooked up. And we need the fire suppression system in the book drop closet. Once that's in, we can take away the old book drop we have out front, which aesthetically isn't that great looking for the new building. And the patrons will be able to return items directly through the slot in the front wall, in front of the building, into the book drop room. We did have a number of roof leaks at CDH. Staff has been monitoring it.
In the new building.
The new building, yes. The construction company has been out a few different times. They have made some repairs. I think they discovered a new one that was like 2 weeks ago. So we're making sure we're staying on top of it because that was one of the big issues with the old building and we do not want to have to go through that again.
So it hasn't really rained. Is it coming from the air conditioning?
They
or
don't
something?
think so. They're checking it. They said that the construction company was going to check it, but they believe it was from just a few times when they had downpours.
Okay.
Yes. Good news, the Northeast branch, I don't know if anyone's been over there. Fresh paint on the outside, it looks great. It was in desperate need of that. And the parking lot is gonna be repaved next month. It's gonna be on Friday or Thursday, October 9th and Friday the 10th. It's gonna be a 2-day project. And for those 2 days, the branch will be closed to the public. Debbie, I know you had inquired and talked about not circulating the newest issues of the magazines. So starting in May, we did experiment a little bit with it.
I thought we changed it because that we follow the name.
No, Maine allows each individual library to decide.
Okay, I
Um,
misunderstood that. I thought it was because of name.
We decided to experiment with it. We had done it years ago and then had changed it to everything circulates. I asked each branch manager to gather feedback from patrons, keep an eye out, do like a little checklist, how many times they saw people reading magazines inside the library. I will let you know, the vast majority of the feedback we got was very negative. I think people are very used to, they would come in, grab their magazines, be able to check them out.
How long could they keep them out?
It is a 14-day loan period for magazines.
Prior to this change?
I think we did 14 days in the old system too.
That's not 14 days. That's why I made the recommendation. It was much longer. And how many magazines can be taken out at one time?
We don't limit the number of
Unlimited
magazines.
magazines for weeks of current issues. I suggest that we table this matter till the next meeting, since we're just seeing this for the first time now. Jill, we don't get your report in.
Sure.
So
Well, one thing I'll say
let's
is
put it
that,
under new business for next time, if that's agreeable.
and I will say that potentially if you want to consider a change to it, maybe you look at cutting in half the time that a new issue does not circulate. So if it's a quarterly magazine, maybe it doesn't circulate for the first 2 months. Or if it's monthly, it's 2 weeks. That might be something to consider in terms of kind of in between. I think particularly with the issues that don't, magazines that the issues don't come out very frequently.
Is it? Okay, thank you. Okay, any commissioner comments?
Mrs. Hennessy? I just wanted to ask a question about the, your comments. Do you want the correspondence read to it during the meetings? Is that what you're asking for?
I believe that with from reading minutes, they were summarized in the minutes. I think if there was a short correspondence, it was read aloud. But
Okay.
if it was a longer thing, and it was like a
Summarized.
reasonable summary with summaries.
Okay,
At least that's how I know it's done at like other school board meetings or other meetings too.
okay, just so it's acknowledged.
Yeah, the acknowledgement, having it there.
Okay.
So that if I miss a meeting, I can see in the minutes things that came up or were discussed or what's going on.
Okay, thank you for clarifying
Sure.
that.
Currently, is the correspondence included in the minutes that's posted on the website? The written correspondence?
Received from the public? No.
This is part of the discussion with the bylaws, which everybody will eventually, but that's on agenda for discussion.
Any closing public comments?
I have a letter that I'd like to read and then have a copy for each of you. And I gave one to Ms. Butcher. My name is Sarah Hare and I'm from Hope. Thanks. Dear Warren County Library Commissioners and Library Director Jill Butcher. After attending months of our Warren County Library Commission meetings this year, witnessing the public attend in large numbers with questions and comments of concern, including the posting of a discriminatory resource list for parents, whether the commission has been or will in the future engage in book banning, how one county commissioner has appointed library commissioners with extreme and biased beliefs, how the most recent law firm was decided upon, and the exorbitant amount of library funds used to pay for a lawyer's presence at every meeting, and more, I decided to attend other county library commission meetings to observe how they function and compare ours to theirs. On September 3rd, I attended the Library Commission meeting of Somerset County, and on September 19th, I attended the meeting of the Hunterdon County Library Commission. Documents obtained at these meetings or from their websites are enclosed. Regarding the presence of an attorney at their meetings, Somerset County's lawyer, Douglas Zucker, was present. As you may know, he happens to be from a firm that previously represented the Warren County Library Commission and has much experience in representing over 40 library systems. Our current law firm does not. Attorney Zucker was asked about a question from the public concerning how staff would respond to ICE if they entered the building. And he engaged them in a very open discussion and answered questions and calmed worries, presenting the best legal actions. Regarding transparency of money spent and sharing the budget with the public, Somerset County's September 3rd agenda provided a link to their last audit, which was conducted for the years 2023 and 24. I've provided a copy here. The SCLS Library Commission page contains links to many years of budget information under budget documents, including the 2025 SCLS NJ budget, which is an in-depth, visually attractive, well-written packet, which I have here if anyone would like to look at it. Interestingly, under the budget section on their page, there is a link to the Open Public Records Act request form. This suggests that they are promoting transparency. The Hunterdon County Library Commission provided every member of the public in attendance a 5-page itemized budget for the period September 1st through September 11, 2025, with adopted expended year-to-date and expended current stats that includes library salary and wages and everything else spent. I'm including a copy. There was some discussion about the budget package, suggesting that members of the public had all seen budget information previously and that handing out itemized updated budgets was a regular occurrence at their monthly meetings. Regarding correspondence, both counties' library commissions have the term correspondence on their agendas. Somerset had none to share at their meeting. Hunterdon had received one letter that was read in full at the meeting. Regarding public attendance and comments, in Somerset, 2 librarians who work in their system, 1 library maintenance worker and I were in attendance. The maintenance worker stood up to praise the commission for addressing the air quality. I was the only member of the public in attendance at the Hunterdon meeting. At both meetings, I was approached and welcomed by the directors and chairpersons, and they're all named in the letter. Every one of them sat down. They were willing, they came to me and asked why I was there. I was honest with them about why I was there. Both meetings were collaborative, friendly, and welcoming of any questions from the public.
Finish up the sentence and then. put your
Okay,
comments.
I just want to say that they were run professionally and everybody understood. And I just want to say that I'm happy to speak with anyone about what I observed in those meetings and, you know, to the point that hopefully we can build trust between this commission and the public in the ways that I witnessed at their meetings.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank
I have a
you.
question or a comment. Sarah, we have 2 letters attached to this, but they're the same letter.
There should only be one.
Okay, just to make
Sorry.
sure it wasn't.
I'll take the extra.
No, it's all right. We'll
Yeah.
just go with
Okay.
it. That's fine. Thank you.
Right, there is no need for executive session tonight. And
We have a-
Wait, wait,
Oh, I am so,
I have one Zoom one as well.
I am so sorry.
We don't do.
We don't do.
It's all right. It's okay.
Hi, my name is Susan Nordell, and this lovely lady kind of preempted me on the amounts that we're spending for the attorney, so I'm only going to read part of what I've written here. The total expenses, she was totally correct. I did an over also on those. And the previous law company was Weir Law Group, and now we have Bell, Shivas, and Bell. This law firm is connected to Warren County Commission with Mr. Bell Sr. as their legal counsel, and this library commission with Mr. Bell Jr. as legal counsel. Can this commission tell the residents why such exorbitant amounts of money are being spent on legal fees for a library? Does anyone see a conflict with this law firm representing two sections of this county? This is taxpayer money. We have a right to know why so much is being spent on legal fees. I am the board president at Brookfield Glen. Our residents not only pay taxes, but they pay an HOA fee. If I hired my nephew to cut the grass and the expenses went up by 100%, you can bet the residents would want answers. It's the same here. I hope the press, if they're online or in the audience, writes a great story about this for the residents who could not attend a 5:30 meeting.
May I ask a question? Are you suggesting that somebody on this board has a you reference a nephew, your nephew? Are you suggesting
Oh,
someone?
no.
on
The county
This was an example.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's not literal, like revolution.
Hello, good evening. My name is Marianne Boyd, and I'm from Knowlton Township. I just have some comments I would like to share. And thank you for the opportunity to speak today. I appreciate it, and I trust that I may speak freely. Brief background, I have 29 plus years of serving in schools in Warren, Sussex, and Morris counties to educate children and their families about how kids are able to grow and learn as they mature. We know and understand full well that kids are also different in terms of their intellectual, emotional, and developmental growth. And age does not necessarily give an accurate picture in these areas, as some progress more quickly than others, depending upon their home life, upbringing, and experiences. I'm a Christian woman. We're called to love others. Jesus said, "Love one another as I have loved you." That does not mean I am to agree with everything and anything others say, do, or believe. After all, this is America. We have the privilege and right to read and educate ourselves in a variety of ways. I hope you'll understand that I highly value education, and I am ready to defend and hold sacred the minds of our young people. They need to understand and value what is morally right and appropriate. Parents, grandparents, guardians, and others have an incredible opportunity and responsibility to teach their children and grandchildren about the facts of life. And among other important things, to give them the truth about their actions and consequences that may follow. Consequences can be helpful or harmful, depending on the actions. I hope you agree. I brought my favorite book with me tonight, my Bible, which I believe is the inerrant word of God. It teaches about God's love and how he wants me to live each day while I'm here on planet Earth. In the New Testament book of Luke, chapter 6, verse 31, Jesus says, "Do unto others as you would have them do unto you." This verse speaks to us, one and all. We're to demonstrate respect for all and behave in a responsible way. I say this so that what I say that follows is grounded in my belief and understanding that I do respect others and their opinions, even though I may disagree. We are in the time when many parents or guardians abdicate the responsibility of teaching their children about sex. This is not a topic that should be learned prematurely or through casual exposure to sexually explicit books or social media posts or TV programs without parental oversight. Children are innocent and vulnerable in so many ways as they navigate their young lives in this world that's bombarding them with all kinds of information, some of which they cannot fully interpret or process. You may say that isn't true for my child. And then again, you may be right, but you might be wrong.
If you just finish up your sentence and then that's 4 minutes.
Kids need love guide. I'm going to speak really fast then. Kids need love, guidance, and opportunities to talk openly and unashamedly with their parents or guardians when they begin to ask questions. They need to be taught by their parents first when it comes to sex education. When children view sexually explicit material, whether in a book, magazine, or on TV, or through some other form of media, it can become imprinted on their young minds and affect their behavior and moral development. Excuse me, but when I was here at the June meeting, a woman was up here and spoke far beyond her 4 minutes. So I would like the same, I'd like the same treatment.
And that we'd have to give the same courtesy to everybody, unfortunately.
Well, it was given that day.
That was a situational, at the discretion of the chair. I mean, you're about 5 minutes.
Okay, to be continued.
Do you have copies of the letter for us?
I certainly will make some.
Or
And,
we can, if you give us one, we'll make it for ourselves.
well, I'd be happy to give it to you. May I just say, God bless each and every one of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
We got it. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Paul Escola from Alamochi, and I'll actually be brief. I want to actually make a couple of comments about the librarians, the staff, and everybody who works there. Just even listening tonight to the facts of the improvements in the throughput, the programs that you have are really amazing. I don't know who does Wowberry, the newsletter. That's really good. It comes in, it's just like IMDb or something like that for the library. So whoever does that really does a good job. And I'm also impressed by all the statistics that you actually gather. You really seem to value that, and being a former project manager, I think that's a really good way to run things. So I'm really impressed, and thanks to everybody. I'm also kind of chagrined that everybody has to go through Oprah to go find out where all the money went. I mean, for something so drastic, like other people said, when the cost of something goes up by twice as much, and we're not only halfway through the year, and there's no visibility into why, what drove it, a lot of notes about meetings of this and transcripts and everything, and it just seems so wasteful, I'm gonna say. When I see the great work that staff and librarians do, and then you see something that you're saying, well, what's the value that's being added for the students or the community or the children? I just don't understand it. I would hope in the spirit of being more transparent, maybe this type of information would be volunteered rather than people having to go dig it up. So that's my suggestion. Take on.
So on that, I might be able to help. The budget and the audit for probably at least the last 10 years are posted on the website.
On the library commission website or on
The county website
County
has the budgets and audits for probably about a decade.
Right, but you have to wait to the end of the year, right? That's quarterly or?
No, it's an annual budget.
Right. So in the less than a year, we've seen the costs go way high. And I don't think we can wait a year to find out why.
Understood. I'm just trying to tell you how to
Yeah,
find it.
no,
Yep.
thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else from the public?
it Madam Chair Thomas now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, congratulations. My name is Guy Citron. I'm from Califon, and I am running for state assembly this year, which in this legislative district includes pretty much all of Warren County. Just being forthcoming about that information, although I'm not here to campaign or talk about my platform or ask for the vote or anything like that. I'm here because local citizens are concerned that perhaps discriminatory lists such as book looks are still being considered as authoritative resources when they are in fact hate inspired. And you know, I just want to explain my point in a story. This past weekend, I was at a wedding. Beautiful wedding. You've been to non-beautiful weddings, so you know when they get it right, it's right. You know what I mean? Like the music, the food, the family, the friends, the co-workers, just the overwhelming sense of community and joy at this wedding was phenomenal. And it was a wedding between two women. When we incorporate stories like that, stories about people and how they choose to live their lives in this country, which is so free and so full of liberty, and that's what makes us so great, then we have to make sure that those stories are accessible for everybody to choose to read. To the gentlewoman's concern about, I think it was some kind of, indoctrination. I don't want to give you words in your mouth. I'm just trying to interpret.
Please don't.
Okay, I'm sorry. She was, I guess, worried about exposure to developmentally inappropriate material. Is that a better way to say it?
You're getting close.
Okay, well, my son is in the room and he's 8 years old, and I don't think there's anything that will disturb or disrupt his natural development or progression into becoming a healthy and beautiful person in this world, based upon the fact that it is true indeed that we share this beautiful world with people who practice love in ways that we may not. And so to the gentlewoman's observation of the golden rule, and that we should effort and strive to treat others as we want to be treated, I do want to apologize, and I did apologize to Madam Chairwoman Thomas, because the last time I did come up here and speak, maybe my tone was too adversarial, and I appreciate your forgiveness, because I'm struggling to understand, and I'm being honest and sincere. I'm struggling to understand what the motivation is to protect our children from the reality that we all are entitled to love, security, belonging, connection, family, and that experience is very subjective. So if it's not hate, I'm at a loss for what the motivation is. Thank you for your time, and thank you for your service.
Lina Gateway Township. At several recent meetings, commissioners have stated that they don't understand why members of the public are concerned about book bans. In March of 2023, 5 resource concern forms were submitted by 2 library patrons asking for the removal of 5 books from the collection. These are forms the library has available to any patron to fill out if they believe the library contains materials that should be reconsidered for removal. In the library world, this is known as a book challenge, and it's the first step of a process that would remove or ban materials from the collection. The library has procedures in place for how these forms are processed, and it's my understanding that this was followed and all 5 books were deemed appropriate to keep in the library's collection. So why is this still a concern for residents? In October 2024, now Commission Member Thomas, who was one of the people who challenged the books, requested that a posting be placed in conspicuous locations at each branch, displaying a book review resource called booklooks.org. That's taken directly from the minutes in October 2024. This unprofessional, discriminatory website is best known for being a tool used to ban large numbers of books written by or about marginalized people in schools and libraries throughout our country. And yet, despite many more members of the public speaking out against this flyer than there were asking for it, at the November 2024 meeting, the commission voted to go ahead with this, not even tabling the issue to do further research or reflect on the community's input. It was incredibly inappropriate for the Warren County Library Commission to approve the posting this and therefore be promoting these hateful ideas. So the person who requested the removal of 5 books in 2023 was the one who championed promoting this bigoted website and is now not only on the commission, but the chairperson. In February 2025, the commission, without formal resolution or amendment to the bylaws, began omitting the public's written correspondence from official meeting discussion and minutes, as I alluded to earlier. In March of 2025, Commission Chair Thomas gave a tonally inflammatory statement continuing to call books in the library's collections obscene, making derogatory remarks about the LGBTQ+ community and sowing even more confusion around censorship. So while I suppose you can say that there are no official efforts on the meeting agendas to ban books in our library, the Commission Chair's past actions to ban books, the power she has leading this commission, and her recent statements inflaming the issue, combined with the Commission's previous actions to approve promoting a discriminatory website, only taking it down when the website no longer existed. This history, paired with the lack of reassurance that there will not be broad changes to library policies, laying the groundwork for broad book banning, these things keep censorship concerns at the forefront of my mind. After the June 2025 meeting, I was approached by 2 members of the commission and questioned why I keep talking about the same thing at every meeting. I have to wonder if they're asking everyone this or just those who speak out who they personally disagree with. I'm not sure they listened to my responses that night, so I hope I'm clear now. Censorship is a serious matter. We are fortunate to have a skilled and professional staff curating our collection at the Warren County Library. The reasons that one patron provides for wanting to censor certain media from children in general do not change the fact that I do not wish to censor these things from my child. I believe that that patron and any commission members who personally agree with them have good intentions. But having good intentions does not mean that you get to replace what I want for my child with what you want for my child. These decisions are in the sole authority of parents, not others in the community and not the Library Commission. Parents' authority can only be respected by keeping the collections intact and the freedom to read available to all. I hope I've been clear in my statement tonight.
Hi, Sandy Roberts from Blairstown. Real quick tonight. Just want to start by saying thank you so much to our library staff for a wonderful summer. I had, another round of applause, seriously. I had a ton of fun having STEAM programs at CDH with the kids. We had a great time. We learned all about rainbows from a scientific perspective. It was a blast. So that was really great, and I really appreciated the opportunity to do that. As always, thank you for your service and thank you for all your hard work. I've spoken before about public trust and rebuilding that public trust with our library, with our library commission. Today, I just wanted to register my concern because today is Rosh Hashanah. It is a high holiday for our Jewish neighbors. It is the beginning of their new year. It's an incredibly important day. When we set the calendar for January, I hope that care will be taken next time to consider all the religious holidays that are celebrated in this county. Because hosting this meeting today, on a day when none of our Jewish neighbors can be here due to their religious observances, is deeply concerning to me. There is no reason that needed to happen. Consulting a calendar would have made it very easy to see that that was a conflict. It was brought up before, and again, no action was taken. I'm not going to get into anything more than that, but when you have people that are concerned about potential discrimination, when you have people that are concerned about inclusion, when you have people that are concerned about public trust, doing something like hosting a meeting for the first time in several months on a day when no Jewish member of our community can be here does not rebuild that trust. That's all. Thank you.
Sam, I have a question. You said it was brought up before. It was brought up.
It was
this
brought up
year?
in the June meeting by, I believe, was it June or?
I think it might have been in May and June. Anna brought it up.
Yeah, it was brought up by other members who were concerned. So they can't be here today. I am. Thank you.
Thank you for speaking for them.
Teresa Esposito Jackson, Washington Township. Again, congratulations on the circulation increase and summer reading. Really proud of everything you guys have accomplished. I also wanted to start to mention how disappointed I am in the commission for having September's meeting on Rosh Hashanah. You guys were given ample notice of this conflict both in May and June by 2 members of the public. Once again, you are demonstrating to the public that you don't seem to care about providing an environment where public participation is valued and encouraged, since you intentionally and purposely excluded an entire Warren County population from being here today. It makes it clear that County Commissioner Sarnowski wasn't lying to me when he said he'd only be appointing people who share his conservative Christian values to what should be a nonpartisan commission. Next, I want to address how disappointed yet not surprised I am that I didn't get a response to the letter I wrote to the commission discussing the abhorrent behavior displayed at the June commission meeting. First, at the end of that meeting, Commissioner Gerhart complained after several community members spoke out against book bans that we are still discussing this when no books had been moved or banned. She did not, however, make this statement after a different patron started that entire conversation by stating that there were still pornographic books available at the library. It was only then that others once again spoke out about book bans. This concern also continues considering that patron is the same person who tried to get books removed, or as they stated, reconsidered with Chairperson Thomas in March 2023. Secondly, Gerhart's statement failed to acknowledge that books haven't been moved or removed, not for lack of trying, but because the previous lawyer argued that it was censorship and the public showed up against it. To behave like these concerns are without merit is deceitful and insulting, especially considering how both Commissioners Thomas and Gerhart have gone against the public wishes previously. In October 2024, Thomas stated that a concerned citizen wanted the illegitimate and biased website Book Looks posted throughout all the library branches. Hearing this, the public showed up en masse at the November 2024 meeting, speaking out against this happening. Both commissioners ignored the immense and vehement public opposition when Thomas motioned for a vote anyway, and Gerhart seconded, making the vote, which they both supported, possible. Lastly, I have major concerns with how Commissioners Thomas and Kaya conducted themselves after June's meeting. I witnessed Commissioner Kayak ask a patron to have a conversation, which Chairperson Thomas later joined. I saw and heard them dismiss that person's traumatic experience, which they just had the courage to share publicly, by saying, "We all have stories," as though what she experienced and shared didn't matter. When this person tried to explain their point of view, Commissioner Kayak spoke over them when that patron pointed out that they were the ones who were approached for a conversation, and that required allowing them to speak. Commissioner Kayak dismissed that and continued to speak over them. When Chairperson Thomas joined, she complained that we aren't hearing her side. I want to reiterate that Commissioner Thomas is the commissioner chair, and she has a whole meeting to have a serious and open conversation with the public. Instead, the commission has continued to be vague and unresponsive to the public and their concerns. I want to emphasize how inappropriate this whole display was for 2 commission members to approach a patron who shared something traumatic, dismiss her experience and what she had to say, speak over her, and then complain that you are the ones who aren't being heard and understood. From my perspective, witnessing all of this, it appeared as though 2 commission members were intimidating a patron. This behavior was shameful, and this person deserves an apology. The commission, you truly need to reflect on how you conduct yourselves and how you approach your role in this commission. I have seen nothing but a lack of true leadership. You want to be heard and understood, then partake in a real and open dialogue with the public. This involves doing the work and showing up prepared, actually listening to the public, being transparent and acknowledging correspondence once again, giving clear updates on the bylaws, and honoring your commitment to the public by confirming that you will not vote on the bylaws until the public has had a chance to read, review, and comment on them. And finally, by no longer abusing library funds by constantly misusing lawyer consultations. For the sake of all of Warren County, and I cannot emphasize this enough, you need to do better.
From the public? Not seeing anyone else?
Is there anyone on Zoom?
No.
Okay. Okay, so the meeting is adjourned at 6:25.